Detective Samuel Grayson sat hunched over his desk, eyes bloodshot and fingers trembling as he scrolled through the grainy footage. The asylum had been abandoned for decades, its walls steeped in whispered horrors. It was supposed to be a routine investigation. His team had been dispatched to document the decaying ruins, to uncover the truth behind the urban legends that had plagued the town for years. But something was wrong. The footage told a different story from the one he remembered. Samuel pressed play. The screen flickered to life, showing his team stepping through the asylum's towering iron gates. Parker, the tech specialist, carried the infrared camera. Julia, the historian, held a notebook, eagerly documenting every rusted plaque and faded patient record. Carter and Maya, the muscle of the group, kept watch, their flashlights slicing through the darkness. But as Samuel watched, Parker vanished. Not in a sudden burst of light or a flurry of movement. No, it was subtler than that. One moment Parker walked beside Julia, speaking animatedly about residual hauntings. In the next frame, he was gone. Julia still nodded in response, as if speaking to someone who no longer existed. Samuel rewound the footage, played it again. The same thing. Parker, mid-step, gone. His hands tightened around the mouse as he fast-forwarded. The team moved deeper into the asylum, their flashlights illuminating rotting gurneys and peeling wallpaper. Then Julia vanished. One frame, she was there, her brow furrowed as she took notes. The next, nothing. No screams, no shadowy figure dragging them into the abyss. Just erased. His pulse pounded in his ears as he scrubbed through the footage, his breath catching in his throat. Carter disappeared next, then Maya. Frame by frame, his team was being erased from existence. By the end of the footage, Samuel sat alone in the darkness of the asylum. His flashlight flickered, his expression weary. Then, without warning, he too disappeared. Samuel shoved away from his desk, the chair clattering to the floor. His breaths came in sharp, panicked bursts. He was here. He was alive. But according to the footage, he never made it out. His gaze darted to the investigation board on the wall, photos of his team, newspaper clippings, asylum blueprints. His fingers traced over Parker's face, over Julia's name scrawled in red ink. They were real, weren't they? A sudden sound sent ice down his spine, a soft whisper, a breath against his ear. Samuel. He whirled around. The room was empty, but in the reflection of his computer monitor, a figure stood behind him. It was him. His doppelganger smiled, a wide, knowing grin. Then the screen flickered, and the reflection was gone. The cursor on the computer screen moved on its own, highlighting the final seconds of footage. A new frame had appeared, the asylum empty. But now, written in blood across the crumbling walls, were 4 words that turned his stomach to ice. You were never here. The monitor blinked to black, and Samuel felt something shift in the air around him. Reality was unraveling, and this time, there was no footage left to prove he had ever existed at all.